It's your girl Jay.
It's your girl D.
And welcome back to
Real Life with Jay and D.
We're back. It's Tuesday. Guys, make sure before you watch this video, go watch our last 3 episodes. We're on episode 4 already. Can you believe that? Episode 4.
I know. It's so crazy.
It is crazy.
Even in the midst of us, like, the chaos and stuff, like, we're still on episode 4.
Yeah, we're still on our grind. We're still here. You guys are not going to get rid of us anytime soon. So, as you guys can read by the title of this video,
we're going to be talking about how to value yourself, the importance of it, why you should, why it's something that you should always do. The obvious. I feel like this is a topic that a lot of people are always talking about, but
no, for sure.
Just to give you our perspective on it.
So, let's get started in this video. In order for you to value yourself, you have to exercise, okay? Exercise every day. Go out for a walk. Go out for a run. If you're scared to go to the gym and you don't know what you're doing, hey, the tools are there, you guys. Look it up on TikTok. Look it up on YouTube. There's a lot of fitness influencers nowadays. Like, there is no excuse for you to say, I don't know how to do that machine, or I don't know, I'm scared that I'm going to look dumb while working out. No, just look it up before you go to the gym. Go out for a walk. Go out for a run. Just get in that exercise. 30 minutes at least. That's all you need.
Yeah, like, it's just important to really move your body. It's a blessing for you to be able, this is even something I'm learning for myself. It's a blessing to be able to move, to walk, to run, to lift, to do anything. Even if it's like not to what you want it to be, it's just still a blessing to be able to move. There's a lot of people that aren't blessed to move. They've lost an arm, they've lost a leg. They can't go on a walk. They can't lift things for whatever reason. So take advantage of your blessings. It's really the small things.
Like, just be grateful. Be grateful. Like Desiree said, there's a lot of people that are not able to walk, run, you know, they've lost a leg, but also, like, there's a lot of people that have a lot of, like, health complications, you know, that they really can't, I mean, they can, but they can't do it. But don't let anything stop you. You can still do it. Even if you don't have a leg, even if you don't have an arm, like, you can still do it.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, that tags along to eating better, eating healthier. Your body is your temple. You know, you gotta incorporate, cook at home. Okay, stop eating out. Stop being a big bag.
For me, that's really for me too, especially like, I can understand why it's so good for you to cook at home, because you're knowing what you're putting in your food. Like, even if, let's say, you are eating something that is processed from the grocery store, you see the ingredients. You know what you're putting in your body. As far as you go out to eat, they're not giving you every single nutritional fact. Yes, they give you the calorie count, stuff like that, but it's like, what is this meat made out of? What are these fries made out of? Are they real potatoes? Like, you know, like, just real questions. So I can understand the importance of you actually eating inside, because you know where you're putting in your body. It's not a secret. If you want to, you can control how much ingredients you are putting in there. You know, sometimes even, like, if you go out, like, they over season things. It's like, you know how much you're putting in there. So I think it's important for you to do that, because it just, I feel like it sets a good foundation for yourself to, one, be healthy. And I think if you have a healthy body, you'll eventually get a healthy mind. If you're disciplined in one area, you'll be disciplined in other areas.
For sure. And like you said, a lot of people don't care what they're putting in your food, especially like these restaurants, these fast food places. I've worked in fast food before, and they reuse that oil for like
yeah, no, literally, what was it? Was it the day before yesterday? You were like, I was like, sister, like, I really want, like, some fries from, like, I think I went to Popeyes, and you were like, girl, like, they be cooking that, like, it'd be, like, 6 hours worth of grease, like, sitting and they're still frying in it.
They're still frying in it. Like, they don't change. I think they're supposed to change the oil.
Yeah.
Like, what, like every hour? I don't know.
They're lazy and they don't want to. And it's like, who's going to notice, right?
It's not even that they're lazy. It's just that they're losing money if they're constantly changing the oil. You know what I mean? Like, they're a business. They want to reuse the same stuff over and over again.
True. But it's like if you're, well, I mean, sometimes like when I've went to Whataburger, like, I don't know why, but especially like if it's like late at night, right? Like it's like 2 a.m. and like, oh, I'm hungry. Like,
Girl, that's even the worst. They be giving you the leftovers. They just be frying it back.
Well, I think whatever they actually prepare it, like, because I have a friend that used to work there. She said that they like actually prepare each meal like as you order, but I don't know if it's like the grease or like they didn't clean off what they're putting the bun on to make it like toasted around the edges. The bun always tastes weird after hours. Like I don't know why. And it's like compared to like if I go right now or like 6 p.m. it does not taste like that. But I've noticed, and like the crew that is there, the Whataburger by my house, they're like, they don't look like they care. So it's like, well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And you don't even know like if these people are actually wearing gloves or not. Like you're
Yeah,
supposed to
that's
wear
nasty
gloves,
to
of
think
course, and
about.
like hair nets. Hair nets, is that what it's called?
Yeah, so yeah.
So like your hair, you know, there's no hair in the food, but you don't know what these people are doing behind that counter. They can literally be spitting in your food. So that's why you gotta always be nice to employees, because you just never know.
But you can avoid all that by just cooking
At home, you know,
Yeah.
just whipping it up. Go to the grocery store. I know groceries are so expensive nowadays, but just think about how much you're spending eating out.
I think something else that is very good and a good way for you to value yourself is getting enough sleep, but also not oversleeping. If you're not getting enough rest, how can you expect, I feel like, to wake up the next day ready to take on the day? How could you expect to get up and do the thing that you don't want to do, or something that you know you need to do, but it's like you feel like you don't have the time? I feel like even you going to sleep at like 2 a.m., like that's bad, and it's very normalized nowadays to like go to sleep late, depending on obviously like when you get off of work, if you have a 9 to 5 or whatever the case may be. But I don't think it's good for you to still stay up that late, because then you end up, I don't know, waking up at like 12 or 1 p.m. I used to do that like years ago. I would go to sleep super late and then sleep till in like 1 or 2. Like that's sleeping in for me. While now it's like, okay, sleeping in is like 9 to 10. Like and there's definitely a difference. I feel like I've seen the difference in my body, the way I react. I love to sleep and I'm a sleeper, but I can just like, it's not good to oversleep as well.
Yeah. No, for sure. To piggyback on that, I used to be the same way. Like I used to go to bed super late, you know, watching just Netflix shows and Hulu and YouTube, because I'm a YouTube girly. But I've realized that it was so damaging to me, you know, even like just like because when I don't sleep, my mood is off.
Right.
You
and
know?
of course, like you wake up grumpy, or you don't feel like, again, you're not ready to take on the
But
day.
I wake up grumpy, right? I wake up like around 11 a.m., right? And then I'm pissed off at myself because I've slept through all these hours, and I'm like, well, I'm starting my day at 11 a.m. Like, what am I doing with my life? You know what I mean? And it's just like a constant cycle for me. Like, it used to be a constant cycle for me. And I was just always so moody. But once I was able to stop that habit, I saw a difference in my mood and just my grind, my motivation. Like it's just all about changing your habits. It takes 30 days for you to change a habit. So start now. Stop sleeping late. Okay, stop watching Netflix until like 3 a.m. It's not worth it. It's not going to take you anywhere in life, honestly. They're making money out of you. You're not making money out of them.
Right. And I also think, because I feel like a person would be like, but like I work late, but it's like also like, what are you doing that's making you stay up late after you have worked? Like it's also about the things that you indulge in, your addictions, all that. Because I would say before, and this is like very, very transparent, but whenever I used to smoke, I would like get only 5 hours of sleep, and I would go to sleep late, and I would wake up super tired, and like I was like, why is this happening? Or I used to think like, oh, that's what helps me go to sleep, because before it's like, well, if I'm not doing it. I'm not going to sleep at a time I want to. And there was some truth to that, but at the same time, I think it getting inside my body, it is now taking control of me, and it's not me using it for what it really should be used for, because I don't think it's technically bad. It just depends on how you use it. But I started to misuse it, and I could see again that I wasn't sleeping the amount of hours that I should have been sleeping. I was going to sleep late. Even if I did sleep for 5 hours, let's say I go to sleep at 1, then I sleep for 5 hours and I wake up at 6 or 7, I'm tired and I'm laying in bed, but I'm tired. I don't want to do anything. So I'm not even getting up, taking a walk. I'm not getting up, working out. I'm not getting up, journaling. I'm not getting up, spending time with God. I'm not getting up. I'm not doing nothing. And then I end up just laying there, and then all of a sudden I go back to sleep, and now it's 2 p.m. Like it was giving, I just wasn't doing anything with my life. Whereas now I don't do those things, and I can go to sleep early and wake up early and not feel tired. Don't get me wrong, there's days where I still do, but it's like it's easier for me to push through compared to back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all God right there. Praise
Yeah.
Yah.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's even like leading on to the next thing is like, don't compare yourself. Never compare yourself. You know, it's you versus you. It's not you versus your friends, not you versus your boyfriends, not you versus your family member. It's you versus you. Always.
You really have to stop comparing yourself in some ways to other people. And the reason for that is that the particularities of your life are so idiosyncratic that there isn't anyone really all that much like you, you know, because the details of your life happen to matter. And so maybe you compare yourself to some rock star or something like that, and you know, the person's rich and famous and glamorous and all that, but you know, they're alcoholic and they use too much cocaine and they've had 3 divorces, and it's like, how the hell do you make sense out of that? Is that someone that you should judge yourself harshly against or not? The answer is you don't know, because you don't know all the details of their lives. And who do you know that you can compare yourself to? That's easy. You. Yesterday. So here's a good goal. It's something like, well, aim high, but use as your control yourself. It's like, so your goal is to make today some tiny increment better than yesterday.
Stop comparing yourself, because comparing yourself is not going to get you anywhere in life, because you're going to be so focused on what Desiree's doing, what Jasmine's doing, you know, what's
your cousin doing, what your best friend doing, what your sister doing.
Exactly.
Because what works for someone else may not work for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Find ways that works for you.
Thank you. Find ways that works for you.
Things, and again, because like, even if you want to talk about like, okay, I used to be a smoker, but it's like before, like, I may talk to someone else that is a smoker. Maybe they have a big platform and they're a smoker, and like that works for them, but it didn't work for me because I misused it. It didn't get me anywhere. It didn't help me stay motivated. Well, some people that again,
it motivates them.
Yeah,
I've talked to people that say like, oh yeah, like, you know, I smoke a little bit before I go to the gym. I'm like, what?
I would be dying and collapsing.
Yeah,
like,
I would be.
Yeah. For real, like even
just looking at the machine for a while.
But it's like over a period of time, it's like, nah, because like after that, I want to eat something and then I want to lay down, and like that's not productive. Well, again, while that's someone else's platform and maybe that's what they promote, it's okay for them to do that because, well, they're getting rich off of it, or like whatever the case may be. It's different. But again, it wasn't good for me, which is why when Jazz was talking about you can't compare yourself, it's you against you. What someone else is doing is not always going to be beneficial for you. What is beneficial for a lot of people that they've normalized it, like it's now legal in a lot of states now, when years ago it used to not be. It didn't work for me as much as I used it. Like I tried to make it work for me, but it didn't. It wasn't working. So that's when I had to take that advantage, because it's like I'm not valuing myself. I have to value myself, and I feel like in order for me to value myself, it's not letting anything else outside of me control me. And it was controlling me. Yeah, it was definitely controlling me. So I would definitely say, like, don't compare yourself. Like she said, don't do it, because it's not you. Again, even if it's them valuing themselves through that way, it may not work for you.
Exactly.
I can't stress that enough. Like I've said that like 6 times. I can't stress it enough.
So, yes. So, guys, remember, it's you versus you. It's not you versus anyone else. Stop comparing yourself. And like Desiree said, some stuff might work for someone, but it might not work for yourself. It might not work for you, sorry. So learn about yourself, take care of yourself, see what works best for you at the end of the day. Don't worry about other people, because other people are doing their own thing at the end of the day. Don't be that person that sits there and constantly wants to know what this person's doing or how they can do the same thing like that person. No, you're different, you're unique. So stop comparing yourself.
And I think also we live in a world, everyone, where you have grown up and you have been programmed to see yourself, or again, like it's easy for you to compare yourself to other people. Like, oh, like so and so is doing this, so I need to be doing that, XYZ. I think something else that has helped me along the way of valuing myself is not seeing myself as the person that I have been programmed into. At the end of the day, my identity does not come from who like the world has made me into believing who I am. God has my identity. He has listed our identity, and I'll put scriptures in here that will help you guys like see what I'm talking about. But it's like my identity was already made for me, and the identity that I feel like Yah gives us is an identity that is proud, like it's valuable. Like it's not, again, the mentality of like, oh, I'm useless, or I'm not valuable, or I can't do something, or whatever the case may be. Like we're, even as women, what is that scripture? I think I screenshotted it. It's very important to me because you are more than what I feel like the world has made you out to believe who you are. Like there's a scripture, it says, Proverbs 3:15, she is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. That verse is very important to me, I feel like, when it comes to valuing yourself, because we, especially as women, like men as well, but like I'm gonna talk to my ladies right now.
It's more for women, especially because of all the things that we see, you know,
and we
like,
go through like
we go through a lot of things.
Yeah.
Not that men don't, but
it's like we go through a lot of things, and I feel like you are the prize. You are a jewel. Jewels are hard to find. Like think about a jewel, like a nice, like beautiful jewel that not everyone can have. Like that's how you should be looking at yourself, because that is literally in the Bible. Like that's how we're supposed to do that. And I feel like that's why a lot of people that are believers, they can end up being very successful, because they get that programming out of their head that, oh, so-and-so told me I wasn't valuable when I was 7, so that's what I believe. Or, oh, I want to do what my friend is doing, and I'm doing it, but I'm not doing it like she is, and I'm not getting the different types of things, like the recognition that she's getting, or whatever the case may be, when it's like, that was never for you to begin with. Not everyone's, like, someone else's portion is not going to always be your portion. So that's why I say it's very important for you to look at yourself as the jewel that you are, because you are a jewel and you are special. And that's why it's so important for you to value yourself, because when you don't value yourself, you're basically saying the opposite, that you're not precious, you're not a jewel, you aren't special. And that's a lie. That's definitely a lie from the enemy. And he, I feel like, has been prowling around making us believe that, like, oh, like this is it, like you wake up, you go to your job, and no, like that's not valuing yourself. I feel like being in a routine, make yourself uncomfortable. I think that's even something that's very important when it comes to valuing yourself, is making yourself uncomfortable. What can you change? You should be reflecting every day. That's also, I guess, something else that's important. Like you should be reflecting in order to value yourself, because if you're not reflecting, you'll stay the same
forever.
And even like the most valuable person in this world, they still have change to do. They still have to like nitpick things about themselves, and it's not to be like rude to yourself or mean to yourself, but I think it's just you really valuing yourself. You're trying to learn about yourself. Like Jazz was saying, you need to learn about yourself. You need to see what you like. Get into something that will make you feel good instead of draining you. I feel like this life, we are so quick to do things that are draining us, and it's because what we're doing is not for us. That's why we feel drained. That's why we don't feel accomplished, because you're doing things that you have no business doing. You just think that you have to do it because so and so is doing, and it's not true.
Exactly. And to piggyback on just valuing yourself, you know, as a woman, especially as a woman, you know, you have to make sure that you're not giving yourself as well, you know. You have to take care of yourself mentally, physically.
I feel like what you were saying even reminded me of, like, you have to set boundaries for yourself. You have
Don't look for validation in men, ever. Okay.
not even women.
Not even women.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Don't look at-
Only
yeah.
God and yourself.
Yeah, like, don't look at validation for anybody, because they're not you, and they don't know your journey, and everyone's journey is different. So I feel like it's so important for you to set boundaries, because whenever you set boundaries, you're able, like, when I think of a person that doesn't value themselves, they don't have no boundaries, because they're just letting everybody and anybody do anything to them or say anything to them.
They don't respect themselves enough. They
Yeah.
don't, you know, when people don't set boundaries, you know that they believe that they're not worth anything. You know what I mean? And you are worth something. You just have to believe in yourself and set boundaries. Don't let people walk all over you, because people will walk all over you.
Yeah.
And you're the only one that's going to end up hurt just because you didn't want to set boundaries, just because you didn't want to speak up for yourself. Speak up for yourself. Learn how to say no. Okay? And take that from I'm telling you, when you say no and stand on it. Stand on business. Stand on business. Make sure you write that down.
Okay.
Stand on business.
Yeah, for real. Like, it's true. You do need to stand on business, because, again, you're valuing yourself that way. Even, I mean, I feel like we're kind of talking about, like, you know, how to better yourself. But even if you want to do it a standpoint of, like, relationships, like, you need to value yourself. You need to set boundaries. Don't just, if you know that you don't want a person, and I'll speak to the ladies and the men, if you know that you have a standard, or you want your significant other to be a certain way, and it's not, like, weird, like, you know, like, being a certain way, like, that's your type or whatever, don't try, like, because this other man is trying to make you feel like, oh, or this woman is like, but I'm this person and I can do this for you. No, keep your standards, keep your boundaries. I think that you'll not only be able to, let's say, push them out of the way because they're not meant to be in your life if they don't respect your boundaries, but it's a clear view of who needs to be in your life when you set boundaries. Again, because if you're setting boundaries and people are like, what's wrong with you? You're acting different. It's time to cut them off. There's no point of having them around, because they don't value you.
They don't respect
you value
you.
yourself, it shouldn't matter to you to cut them off, because it's not worth having someone in your life that doesn't respect you. And respect you is respecting your boundaries. And the boundaries that you have set is because you value yourself. Simple as that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, sister, you just spoke facts. Get it, sister. Get it, sister. Get it, sister.
But yeah, like, it's really real.
No, for sure,
like,
you guys. Like, Desiree is speaking facts, okay, you guys? Speaking facts. And I hope that this really does help you guys. Like,
and change your perspective.
Exactly. It helps you change your perspective and view things differently. Because if you're going through something and you cannot value yourself, this is your sign. Watch this video, okay?
Yeah, because it's important. Like, I think valuing yourself, it works in all avenues of your life. Whether it's your health, whether it's the relationships that you have, whether it's your work ethic, whether it's your faith, whether it's all these things. Like, even if you want to go from a faith standpoint, valuing yourself, spend time with your creator, whoever you believe in. Spend time with that creator, that source. Because, again, I don't think that you can be, like, I don't think that you can have value if you aren't going to something. If you don't have some sort of source. And again, it don't got to be what everyone else believes in. If you don't have some sort of source that you're going to help get your validation, because you shouldn't be getting validation from anybody else in this world, it's hard for you to even know how to value yourself. Because mainly that source, whatever you're seeking, will give you some sort of validation, which is what should matter at the end of the day. So I just think it's really important for you to value yourself and have these lessons in your life, and you learn them now, because it would suck for you to live a life where you didn't value yourself and you're looking around like, woe is me, or again, sitting in that comparison bubble, looking at everybody else, wishing that you would have done something years ago when the time was now and you didn't take it.
Amen.
Yeah.
Always acknowledge your strength, because you are a strong person, but you have to believe in that as well. You know, you have to do things that are going to make you stronger, whether that's working out, whether that's changing your habits, whether that's, you know, cutting people off. So yes, always remember your strength. Okay, you are a strong person, but you have to believe in it. You know, you have to believe in yourself enough to say like, wow, I am strong. I am strong to let this person know that, hey, you're stepping over my boundaries. I'm strong whenever you decide to, I don't know, you guys, just remember that you're strong and acknowledge that you're strong.
Yeah, because that's where the value, I feel like, will stem from as well, because you're acknowledging who you are. Again, you're not, someone could, or that's why I think it's so important for you to get your identity from a source, because let's say you do something, you try something, you fail. In your head, you'll start to think, I'm not valuable, or I can't do that. Or maybe if you have a relationship, it's like, oh, I'm not valuable. That person left me, or they cheated on me, or they didn't value me. So you'll start to think in your head like, I'm not valuable, or like you'll go through this depression because it's like, woe is me. But it's like, if you would have valued yourself, not saying, because of course we have emotions, we're humans, but you wouldn't have gotten stuck in that mindset of thinking like, oh, like, because that person didn't see my value, I'm not valuable. But it's like, if you have your identity through your source, aka for us, like, yeah, it's like, I know who he says that I am. He says that I am free, I am loved, all these things. Like, he sees me at such a high regard. So if I'm not seeing myself as that, of course it's going to be easy for me to fall in depression. Of course it's going to be easy for me to think,
I'm not valuable.
What that person said to me or what they did to me, like, it was my fault. Like, no, it's not. Especially if you weren't doing anything wrong and you had pure intentions, whether it's, again, a relationship, a worth thing, or whatever the case may be. So I just think it's important for you to value yourself in all aspects of your life, because it's a key. It's a key, and you need to open the door. That is a door that you need to open. If you have not opened it. And no one is perfect. Don't think that you have to have it all figured out. But again, what are things that you can change right now? What is that saying? I think you had said something the other day, or you posted something. Don't focus on the things that you can't change, but focus on the things that you can. That's not what you said, but it was something else.
Yeah.
But basically that's the gist of it. And it's like, it's true. Focus on what you can change. Don't worry about things you can't.
Exactly.
It's not for you to worry. Give that to your whoever you look up to, and let them work on it for you.
Exactly. Just like you said, like I said too, you know, worry about the things that you can change, you know, like your habits, whatever it is, just worry about those things, because the rest will come to you naturally. Okay. Don't chase, attract.
Yeah, definitely. Don't
be that person that's constantly chasing things, you know. Don't do that.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it, you guys. Just sit back, relax, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey, because you never know when it's going to be your last day. In this earth.
And at least you valued yourself.
Exactly. At least you valued yourself. You respected yourself, and you set boundaries. I think we live in a society where, like, a lot of people don't know how to value themselves because of what they see on social media, or what type of music you guys hear as well, you know? There's a lot of, like, music artists that promote for you to do certain things that are not valuing yourself, whether that's, you know, like smoking or being sexually active with multiple people. When you're sexually active with multiple people, it shows that you don't like value your body. You know what I mean? You don't value your temple. And you're allowing for people to eventually disrespect you, right? Because when you're having multiple partners, in reality, you are disrespecting yourself. You're not valuing yourself, because you're seeking that validation in someone.
Absolutely.
And that person in reality doesn't care about you. That person just wants to see what they can get out of you, which is your precious thing, you know? So don't seek validation in other people. It's not worth it. once you start seeking validation in other people, you're so focused on what that person thinks or wants from you, you know, because you want that person or you desire that person. But stop doing that to yourself. Know your worth, set boundaries, learn how to say no. When you say no, it shows that you love yourself.
Absolutely, you do, because you've set that boundary.
Exactly. Learn how to say no. Or if somebody is walking all over you, you know, or they're disrespecting you or calling you out of your name, I would say, well, I mean, I don't know. I would say, like, first, let your emotions, like, you know, don't act out of an emotion. Never act out of an emotion, because when you act out of an emotion, you say things that you don't want to say. So analyze the situation and then come back and say, hey, I didn't like the way you called me. I didn't like the way that you said this to me.
Absolutely. Because that's you setting your boundaries.
Exactly. You're speaking up for yourself. Always speak up for yourself. But don't do it in a ratchet way too, you know?
Yeah, that's why it's like, I wouldn't just like go off like you were saying. Like, take time, come back.
Analyze the situation.
Because the power of the tongue is real. And things that you say can never be taken back. So...
And people always remember words. Trust me, especially if they're hurtful words, people will remember that. So you got to be careful about what you say to people.
And if you're a woman, I feel like it's not the classiest thing for you to do is to pop off of someone as soon as they do something.
That's ratchet.
Yeah, and it's not ladylike. It's not any of those things. So it's important for you to actually gather your thoughts, gather what you want to say. Don't be so quick to speak. This is even, I'm talking to myself. This is like very convicting. I have to watch what I say. Like, it's, I just need to be more mindful, because that comes with me valuing myself. Like, if you're not mindful of what you're saying, you're just saying anything, like, again, like, that's not good. You're not having self-control, and that's also very important when it comes to you valuing yourself.
Self-control. Stop doing things impulsively.
Yeah.
Think about your decisions. Analyze about your decisions. Write down the pros and the cons of the decisions that you're gonna make. Don't just do it because I want to do it, or Desiree's doing it, I'm gonna do it. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself.
We had talked about this in like our importance of risk video, that it's good to take risks, but it is true. Like, when it comes to even taking a risk, like, let's say you do want to take a risk because you see someone else taking a risk, actually lay out what you're doing. Don't just like, oh, like with no plan. Again, we said in that video, you don't have to have everything planned out, but at least have 3 things planned out already that you want to do when it comes to you taking a risk, because it's important to just plan things. Like, that's you valuing yourself. You're being very smart with your moves.
But even then, like you said, you can just plan it out. Like, write down 3 things, right, that you're gonna do. But if it doesn't go that way, don't see it as like, oh, I failed. You know, don't do that to yourself, because then it's like you're really literally not valuing yourself. Don't give up. Know your strength. You are strong. Well, that concludes today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys go check out our last 3 videos, and make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.
Our platforms will be here, both of our Instagrams, and then our main page Instagram up there.
And yeah, thank you guys. Bye, guys.
Bye.